And we are going to just talk about our takeaways from the weekend. And then Jade is going to talk and tell us some of her takeaways. I know Christy was going to talk to us a little bit about visioning and vision boards, so we'll just all rotate and take our turn to share with you guys, just how good it was to be at the retreat. So for me, it was really great. I live out in Texas, and the other ladies that were there, they kind of live a little bit closer to each other. Jade, maybe not so much, but it's just really good to get to be able to be in person. And for me, that's a real value. And I just really appreciate that what we have as a team and in our team leader is just this connection with each other that really is so unique, I think. I look at all these other kinds of things that are out there that people are promoting or putting out, like Advocare or It Works or what's that other one? Just the Rodan Fields and all of that. And I look at some of the things that people put out for their little posts and their advertising, and I think, what's missing is the connection and the relatability of something that feels like something, I don't know, important or meaningful. And that's what I really appreciated about just being able to get together, all together and hang out, is that it just builds that uniqueness. And it's something that when we come back home, we can talk about, we can share about with people. And we, all of our posts, can be inspired by that kind of meaningfulness because of that connection that we have in this, team relationship. It's like we have something that's unique and different. I don't know if I'm making sense, but what I take away from an event like this is just being able to learn from each other and enjoy one another and see how everybody is unique and what it is that they're doing and how they do it, and then take that home and just feel confident about the fact that we're all unique and we are a part of something wonderful together, that we encourage each other to be more of who we are. And I love that. I really appreciate that. I think it makes what we do just a unique thing that we offer. I don't know if I'm making a lot of sense, but that connection does wonders for me when I come home and I look at how that gets infused in my posts, just the fact that it is unique, that this is different, that there's a lot of meaning attached to it. So that's pretty much what I have to share about my time. That's pretty short and to the point, huh?
Yeah, you made that quick.
That was all under 5 minutes. Goodness. But, I know we have Jade and Tracy and Christy, and so I'm sure if there's something else that I wanted to reflect on more in a little bit later on, I'll come back to that. But Jade, will you share with us more of what you experienced this weekend?
Yeah, so basically what you said, I can totally relate, that connection. And that's one of the points that I had down to really talk about was, making the trips or even getting on these calls is just what I call a cup filler for me. It fills my cup and it helps me stay motivated and keeps me the blinders up and keeps me focused for what's coming. And because if it was just by myself, I couldn't do it. But having you guys and then coming together and just being there with one another was just wow, this is great. I love being a part of this. So definitely it's important to, go on the trips and to work towards those goals, because being together is going to get you further. And I also noticed when we made our vision boards, what I took away is we were all so hesitant to put stuff on those vision boards, and we really were thinking about it. And I know for me, I was like, well, do I need to put that there? Because what if I don't get it? You know, what if I don't meet that goal? And and then I remember Christy saying, oh, you put that on your board. That's bold. That's big. You know, you can totally do it though. And then she was over there being, very like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I need to put this on my vision board. That's scary. And I was just thinking today, we all have fears and we all have failures, but it's how we respond to them when they are thrown at us that either allows us to go forward, or if we're going to sit back and just, sit in our failure, sit in our sadness, I guess, thinking that we are not enough when we are. And it's because of this team that we can move forward, and we can rise above the fears and take the failures and learn from them. And so that's one thing that I really was just like, oh my gosh, it's not just me. I'm not the only one who's scared of failing, but I'm trying to use that energy into productivity, like, make my fears into something that's productive, that's going to get me somewhere. Hopefully this is making sense. I know I feel like I'm rambling too, Becca.
That was great.
And I just said that, we were meant for serving. And that's another point that I noticed on this trip is like, we all have such a servant heart, and that's what we're doing. We are serving others around us because somebody served us and we saw the change, and we were like, this is too good to be true. We have to share it with others. And so, if you're serving, you will see and reap the rewards. And that's one thing I've already started noticing. And I haven't, been in, this business very long. And I even hate to say a business because, I know that's what it is, but it doesn't way. It just feels like I'm doing what God has intended for me to do. And that's just to serve and lead other women to find confidence, both spiritually and physically. And so, one thing about serving is, I can tell Rachel, she is coming from a true, genuine heart. I can tell everybody from this weekend was coming from a genuine heart. And, people can tell if you're not genuine. And so that's one thing I kind of want to make a point of is, yes, we're called to serve and we're called to help people through, with these challenge groups. But we got to make sure that we're coming from a servant heart and from a genuine heart, because that's really going to help us to reap those benefits and just to see our team grow. And then last but not least, the last point that I had that I really took from this was to set goals. Those goals that we put on those vision boards, they were scary, but you know what? They are also they're also meant to they're there for a reason. And I remember reading a book that we have to the words were, we have to persevere with grace. And what that means is we have to push towards those goals and go at it with everything that we have, but knowing that we may not meet those goals, but that's where the grace comes in. That's where we have to say, but look at where I've come from. I've started pushing towards those goals. I may not have reached all of them, but I'm further now than where I was before I even started. And so persevere with grace is just what I keep telling myself is, allow yourself to mess up and forgive yourself, but also acknowledge when you do well. And I guess hopefully that makes sense. I think that's all I have to say. But if I need to specify anything, I can.
That was really good. Thank you so much, Jade. That was awesome.
You're welcome.
Tracy, you want to share?
Sure. Am I?
Yeah, you're
Am
unmuted.
I unmuted? Yeah, and I'm not near as organized as Jade making notes. I think the biggest thing that, or some of the biggest things that I took away from the weekend is just being with everyone else and hearing that we're all having the same struggles. We're all having the same doubts in ourselves. We all have that feeling sometimes of, oh my gosh, is this worth it? You know, and then you get that one message from that challenger or that friend that says, you know, yes, you've made a difference in my life, and it is worth it. And just hearing that from each other and hearing that we're all kind of in that same place. It may not be at the same time, but you know, we all have those ups and downs where we struggle. It helps to hear that from each other. And I am so independent that it's sometimes hard for me to be a part of a team. And I'm loving being part of this team, and it's kind of a weird thing for me because I'm usually just a loner, and it's not because I don't like people. It's just I'm so independent. I do my own thing. And I think sometimes I even forget that I can get so much from other people, you know, and I've really gotten a lot out of that this weekend. And these calls are so important. I sometimes, you know, I'm thinking, oh, I could be messaging people, connecting with people, and, you know, instead of being on the calls, but no, this is like Jade said, this is our cup filler. You know, this is where we kind of come back to and connect with each other and use these calls, you know, to ask questions and learn from each other, because everyone has probably experienced what you're going through and can help. The goals, I think that even if you don't do a vision board or something that, you know, structured, I think what we did this weekend is going to make a difference in each one of our lives, because we did write it down and we showed it to somebody else. And so, like I said, even if you don't make a vision board, I think it's important to write down your goals and share them with somebody else and look at them every day and write down something every day that you can do to help you go toward those goals. And I think that was something important that we did this weekend and made it fun with all our crafty stuff and putting it on our board. We were kind of like we were in school again. Trying to think of anything else. Just the camaraderie of being with everyone else. I showed the pictures that we took to my husband, and he said, "Oh, y'all just had a big girls' fun time." But I said, "Oh, yeah, we did. But the events are important, you know, whatever you can get to, like Super Saturday, I think is going to be a big deal. And I think that's going to be really important to come to that. Anytime we can get together in small groups, I think would be important. And Summit is huge. And so just keep that in mind for next year as far as events go.
Tracy, will you share what happened when we went?
Oh, yes, I will. I don't guess I have my shirt. Becca had to go to the airport, and she didn't have to be there until pretty late. So we got up and we just kind of got ready real slow and finally hit the road, and we decided to go shopping. And we just went to a few stores, TJ Maxx, Old Navy, Under Armour, and we decided we'd done all the shopping we were going to do. And we were pulling out of the shopping center, and I saw a Crocs store. And I said, oh, I want to go in there because a friend of mine has a pair of little heel Crocs that are heels. They're like almost like dress shoes, and I wanted to look for them. So we go in the store, and I've got my Shakeology shirt on. And I'm trying on some shoes, and Becca's looking at some shoes and talking to a girl. And then the girl notices my shirt. A girl that works there notices my shirt and says, "Do you drink Shakeology?" I don't think she knew what she was getting into. Of course, Becca and I just, both started telling her about Shakeology, and she had heard of Paio, and so we were talking about Paio. But, I got her number and her email address, and we've already connected on Facebook, and our friend requested her, and so hopefully, I messaged her really late last night, so I might have scared her off. I don't know. But hopefully that we'll connect. And we got back in the car, and Becca was like, "And you weren't even going to go in there." And I was like, "I know. That is just so weird." So we'll see. She may be our next top coach.
Yeah.
But it's just weird how those things happen like that, you know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
But
it was
yeah.
inspiring to hear her story because she said she had lost on her own 75 pounds and she had hit a plateau and she was thinking about Shakeology and she'd heard about it. And so it was just really cool that here walks in Tracy with her shirt and has an opportunity to talk about it. And she was really interested and she was really into talking. And, you know, I hope that works out, Tracy. I'm excited.
Yeah, it was cool. It definitely, that's like I want to wear my Shakeology shirt every day now.
I need to get some Shakeology shirts.
That's what I told Tracy as soon as I got in the car. I'm like, I am going to go get my shirt. Yeah. But you know what? And part of that whole story that I think is really cool for me, it's like just this whole camaraderie. You know, Tracy and I are just hanging out and having a fun little afternoon together, just shopping and you know, just that. And Tracy shared that we were on our retreat, you know, and that we were Beachbody coaches, and just the ease with which, you know, Tracy was able to share, and us just being there, you know, as friends and coaches on the same team. It just felt like, oh, this is great. And for me, it was even an opportunity to learn from Tracy about how she presents and talks about things and how she goes about it. And so it's good for me to be able to see that and learn from her. And so that's just another benefit of just being able to get to be with each other and grow and learn from each other. So I really appreciated that, Tracy.
I was so shocked. I was like, I can't believe this. But it was fun.
Yeah. So I know that Christy's not yet on our call, but Timmy, I don't know if you had anything that maybe from your experience of going on retreats and such that you might share with us too.
Well, I just agree. Everything else said is just awesome with, you know, getting that, you know, that team spirit and then getting together to know. I think the biggest thing is learning that everybody else has the same struggles that you do. You're just in a different way. They've either been through it or haven't been through it. But I think we've all had those ups and downs, those doubts and stuff. And so I think that's the time where you can see that you're not alone in things, because there's so many times you think, well, that person has it all together, because our timeline is our, you know, it's our highlight reel. It's not the day we felt bad and we put on there, because we always put a positive spin to it. So it's nice to see other people are struggling just like we do. We all have our bad and off days and stuff. So it lets you know you're not alone. You need to feel that way, definitely on this type of business where, you know, you are trying to help others and uplift you. And like Jade had said, this is the time for you to fill your cup. Just like when we go to church in the morning, there's times for you to serve and there's times for you to be filled. And you can't serve unless you've been filled. So you have to do both at the same time so you can keep that flow going. So it sounds like y'all had a fabulous time. I'm so jealous I couldn't go. It sounds awesome.
We wish you could be there too. We love
I know. And I really had thought about going, but it was my little man's birthday, so I can't leave him on his birthday. But yeah, we were talking about me coming and joining y'all and stuff, and I was like, nah, I can't. My cutie. They're always a hot mess.
Well, I think I've unmuted everybody. Unmute yourself if you're not. And maybe if anybody has questions, maybe even about vision boards or, you know, even things that feel scary to you about a vision board. I know Christy wants to get on here and she can talk more specifically about how she led us and how she, you know, what she told us about how to go about it. But do you guys have you done a vision board, anybody already? Or if you haven't, like what do you feel like kind of is holding you back or maybe feels a little scary? I think we lost a couple of folks maybe. Okay. I think one of the things that Christy said, and even just in her notes for helping us to get prepared ourselves, was to not look at it as a logic board. And that's kind of like what you were saying, Jay, is that we were writing some kind of scary things down, like, well, is this realistic? But I think that's part of, the vision board, is to kind of throw logic maybe to the side, not entirely, but certainly just to say, allow yourself to dream and just put it out there, because once you put it out there, then, it's like the self-fulfilling prophecy idea that, the more we speak about something, the more we put our energy toward it, the more we think about it, the more we see it, the more likely we are to move toward it and to make it a reality. And that's, that's kind of scary, for some of us who feel at times like, oh my gosh, like, really, can I do this? But I think that's why it's important probably to just go ahead and put it out there,
I think one thing I liked about it, Becca, is that it wasn't just about our Beachbody business. We had our personal fitness goals, health goals. We had our, like if we want community service, something like that, our goals for our family and what we wanted to do at work. And I like that, because sometimes I think this is all I'm focusing on, and I feel like I'm not giving enough time to other things. And I think, having goals in those different areas helps you feel more fulfilled altogether.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. Hey, Christy.
Hey, I'm here sliding in.
Well, you want to talk to us more about vision boards? That's what we're talking about.
Well, how much have y'all covered? A lot of it, or just
our takeaways?
Okay. So I can share. Well, I don't have to share my screen. I can just put it in front of the computer. That's all. So I agree with what Tracy just said, and then most of what I heard, I think most of Becca's, that, I will say that I listened to Rachel talk about a vision board for a year. Well, almost a year. And it was just too overwhelming to me. I really first started thinking about it as all Beachbody. And I thought, gosh, I'm just trying to get the hang of this, let alone, major goals. And so I really didn't know what to put on there. And I think I had just a little bit of a misconception. So blending the two, and part of that, blending the personal and Beachbody together, I think is critical. And if you think about it, most of us are in this for a personal reason. And so it just makes sense. Even if it's a financial driver for you to be involved in coaching, that still blends personally with your goals. So I think that think about a vision board that way. And even though I thought about it for a couple months, it took me a little while to get started. The other night when we were doing them, I just was I kept putting off committing to an actual goal, except the easy ones. So I started with the easy ones. So if you do one and you start and it's difficult, that's okay. Then just walk away from it and think about it and come back to it. Because I've already thought of another one for coaching, So I'll show you mine. It's not 100% complete. Let's see. Can you see? Does that? I'm kind of doing it at an angle. So I broke mine into quadrants, and with my family at the center, because this is why I'm doing this. For the most part, everything, they are my driver for everything I do. And so then I put at the top, let's see, personal things. There's a lot of gold in there because I like gold. So it may be a little difficult to read, but church home, we have this plan, a family plan that we're working on. And so I committed to a date, which is earlier than the date that we have planned for the plan. Date night once a month because it's so hard. And family vacation, a trip for my husband and me. And tonight Brad's like, what is this? We're trying to save money. I was like, I don't care if we just go to Nashville together for the weekend. We are going somewhere together, just you and I. And so I just like made it kind of creative because that's going to, I like to look at creative things. I'm going to put a Bible verse right here, the verse that we had from our retreat. And it is, let all that you do be done in love, 1 Corinthians 16:14, because the retreat theme Rachel had for us was love and hustle. And that pretty much sums up what I'm going to have to do this year. I'm going to have to love at the center of everything. And I'm going to have to hustle to make these, meet these goals personally and coach wise. And so then here are my coach goals. And then I just listed those. Some are monthly, some are at a year level. And then some of them may seem simple, but like I did 6 sneak peeks, 4 free groups. That's pretty big for me because for a year, I've not done them. I've, participated minor role in some sneak peeks. I've not done a free group because I work full time and it's a demanding job for the most part. I've kind of had a little break recently. I just lost something here. But then I have my blog, some things here that I want to do. And then over here, this is personal development. These are 2 devotions I want to do. I want to do the whole 30. I want to tone my legs. And then I want to simplify some things. And I just don't want to make everything so difficult. I just want to do it and move on, not just make everything so difficult, even when it doesn't have to be. So all this stuff came from Hobby Lobby, either in the scrapbooking section or they've got this awesome planner section, daily planner section now at our Hobby Lobby. And so it's just a lot of just different stuff. And, making it your own, if you don't feel comfortable putting out exactly what it is for everyone to see that walks by it wherever you have it, just come up with some code like the plan, like we have the plan 1231. So anyways, is that helpful to see? And does anybody have any questions about putting it together? You could do it on Canva as well. That's not going to work for me. That's just not how I am. I would forget about it. I have to print my menu, even though I have it on my phone and I look at it each week. And I will post in our group a link to a blog that Rachel shared with me a while back. And this lady just hits it on the head talking about vision and dreams from a Christian standpoint and everything from what Becca said, kind of put logic aside and then all the way to finances. And, if you feel guilty about, making money, but also blending ministry aspect to this, she calls that out and talks about it. And so I'll post the link to that instead of just going through it here.
That's great. Thank you, Christy. That's good. Do you have some questions or anything that you
I would say, I was talking with somebody tonight, one more thing I'll say. Somebody that doesn't want to join a challenge group because they're writing a book, seriously, she's writing a book, and she feels a lot of internal pressure. Oh, I blocked. What happened?
Remaining time, it says 10 minutes. That's weird.
I can
all of a sudden frozen.
I can see you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can.
That is the best picture ever, by the way. That is just, talk about. Okay. Anyways, I'll keep talking and you can look at that terrible picture. But she's feeling a lot of internal pressure about joining a challenge group. And even she just feels like it would be too much more added on to her. And so I recommended that she do a vision board, for her book, for her family. And I thought that if you guys are feeling internal pressure about some of your coaching and personal goals and things you want to accomplish this next year, this is a good way to get it out of your head and put it on something that you can look at. You don't have to just think it over and over and over. Just look at it once or twice. So guys, that's all I was going to say.
That's good. Yeah. Now I don't even see your picture, Christy. I'm sad we don't see you.
Well, good. At least you don't see that picture. I can stop. I'll try to rejoin.
Okay. Well, I have a free Zoom account, and we have 8 minutes and 10 seconds left on our call. So I don't really have much else to add or to say, but certainly want to, just leave the space open for whatever else you guys want to talk about. Is there anything else that you guys are struggling with, something that you really were wanting and hoping to hear from us this evening? There we go. I see Christy.
Christy, what was the name of the blog? For the person that did the Christian version of the vision boards, did you have that?
I think I saved it to my favorites, and I'll post the link directly to it. Hold on one second, and I can tell you. It is vision board question. successnotsabotage.com. And the blog is Vision Boards for Christians, How to Get Started and Get Results. And she shares some of her personal experiences.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Sharing that and putting that in there. Okay, y'all. Well, I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have the last word for our call? No? Thank y'all so much for getting on and just listening to us. And, we hope that that's helpful and inspirational to you. But certainly just fun to see everybody's face and get to connect. And I'm just I'll post this in our group, the little recording. I actually did record it. But yay. So Dee will have it when she gets to see it. Okay, y'all. Hope y'all have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.